Welcome everybody to our Greene Acres. My name is Teresa. Today's video is going to be over 50 projects to get us into the Christmas season, because y'all, it is right around the corner. There is chill in the air. So I am getting into the Christmas spirit, and I love the Christmas music, and I love all the decorations that go with it. So in today's video, it's going to be a compilation of the videos that I did last year. I love to put them all into one video so we have them all that we can enjoy when we want to. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope you get lots of inspiration and ideas for your home for the Christmas season. The first decor piece we're going to work on today is going to be some lanterns, and I had these in a previous yard sale haul, and I can't remember exactly how much I paid for them. For some reason, I want to say I got them for $6 for the set, maybe $8. But anyway, I love lanterns, and I especially love them when they're metal like this and they have ornate detail to them. These will paint a really pretty white, and that's what I'm going to do to them. First, we're going to take the glass out of them, and most lanterns, the glass will remove very easily, in case you want to paint them. And I chalk painted them white. We went over them with a couple of layers of spray paint, and then I brought them in and went back over with another layer of white chalk paint. Now I'm going to go over it with a sanding block. I'm going to distress, and I'm just going to go around the edges and get in those little ornate places just to bring out some more of that metal that was underneath. And then we just go in, we clean the glass before we put it back in, and it was that easy. Now I just embellished them with a little bit of Christmas greenery and put some LED candles in them, but look how pretty they turned out. Now these I can leave out all year long, and I can decorate them for all the seasons. Now the next project is going to be a little metal, it's a little hanging cone, and it's red, and it's pretty the way it is. So if you do red in your home, this would be perfect for you for Christmas. But this originally, you can see, was purchased at Stein Mart, and it was originally $12.99, and I got it at a yard sale for 75 cents. Now I'm just going to go over it with my candle wax, and if this is the first time to my channel, y'all know I will cover the base of something with candle wax, and that will help the paint lift off when I go to distress. But first I spray painted it black because I wanted black to be my base when I go to distress it. Then I just went over it with a little plastic scraper after I chalk painted it, and then just gave it some distressing. Now this is so pretty. Just hang it up, and you can fill it up with all kinds of Christmas greenery. I just added a little Christmas greenery and some ribbon to it, and this little piece, again, you can leave this out all year long, and you can just add to it for the seasons. I just want to remind everybody to make sure you are following me on Facebook at Our Greene Acres. I come on over there just about every day with new content. I went live last week and did a couple of crafts for y'all. So it's a great way for me to get to talk with y'all, spend some time with y'all in a live setting. So make sure to go over and follow me on Facebook at Our Greene Acres. And before we go to the next project, I also want to bring to y'all's attention that Rose Forever of New York, they are participating the month of October for the Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. They are going to donate $2 for every pink rose bouquet that they sell. They're going to donate $2 to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So I'm going to leave a link to their website down below, and I'm also going to leave a discount code for you. So make sure to go out and shop their website and shop all their beautiful roses. They have so many to choose from, and you will not be disappointed in the quality of these roses because they last for up to 1 year. So make sure to go out, check them out, because like I say, they're going to donate $2 for every pink rose bouquet that they sell for the month of October. The next project is going to be some yard sale candlesticks. Now, I always love to pick up candlesticks, and especially these. They have some great ornate design on them. I paid $1 for the set. Now, there's some chips on these, and the taller one's got a really bad chip. It's got like a whole little section out of its edge. But I'm going to show you a real quick tip that I learned from my friend Sherry over at Canterbury Cottage. I saw on one of her videos one day, she says you can, repair little chips on things, and all you do is you get your air dry clay and you just go in and fill it in with your clay. You get some water if you need to help smooth it, but you just kind of shape it, let it dry, and then once I painted it, you can't even tell that little edge was chipped. So just a little DIY repair tip. You can use your air dry clay to fill in with chips, and if you have damage to some of your project pieces. Now I just added my little DIY coffee filter trees that I made, and there's a video. I'll link it below and at the end of this video if you want to make some of these. But I just put my coffee filter trees on them just to give you an idea of how you can decorate candlesticks for the Christmas season. The next project, I'm going to show you how we can kind of transform a garland. Now, I purchased this garland at Hobby Lobby, and it was 40% off. There's a lot of bells on this, and it's actually a garland that you can string along a mantle or, across like a long countertop or buffet or something, some kind of long piece. Well, I don't have a lot of areas like that in my home, but I thought it was a great value to get all these bells, and I loved those bells that have varying sizes of lengths of ropes, and they kind of hang at a staggered they're all kind of staggered while they're hanging. So that's what I'm going to do to this garland. I'm just going to kind of revise it and make it to fit what I want to make out of it for Christmas. So the little bells were easy to kind of adjust. They're kind of clipped on, so a lot of them I just kind of cut my rope, and like I say, I want varying lengths for my twine. So the ones that did not have enough rope, then I just went in with some rope that I had and I retied some on those, and then I'm just going to bundle them all together to where they stagger, and I'm going to tie them in a knot at the top and kind of make like a little loop, and that way I can hang these at the end of like some greenery. I can hang them, I'll show you when I stage it what I end up hanging it on. But now I can use these bells throughout my home in different places. Just to give you an idea of different ways that you can, when you see things at the store and you don't necessarily want to use it the way it's intended, just give you a little tip, and ideas of things that you can do to it just to kind of make it fit your home and how you want it to look. Now, a lot of the projects in today's video is thrifted or yard sale, and y'all know I love working with scrap wood, which is free to me, and I always, like I told y'all, have scrap wood. Ben is always out cutting up something, and especially pallets. But this is a little piece of scrap pallet wood, I think, and I'm taking another transfer from my little figgy pudding Iron Orchid design book that I just got, and I have enjoyed that book so much. But while it's Christmas, I'm trying to use transfers from that book and decorate some little pieces for Christmas. And little pieces of scrap wood like this, when you decorate it, you can use these so many ways throughout your home. You can put a hanger on it. You can make it into a Christmas ornament for your tree. You can put on open shelving, your tier trays, and they just add so much to your vignettes just setting up. And so I just took the Merry Christmas, and then on that same page there was also some little holly and some berries, and I thought that white was really pretty on this rustic worn piece of wood. And like I say, you can do so many little things with this, and it didn't take me no time to make it. Now, while we still got some scrap wood, I'm going to show you another project. There's actually a couple more projects using some scrap wood, but I'm using some milk paint, and I have started using this. I have this linked in my Amazon store, but it's basically powder, and you mix it with equal parts of water. So I did 1 scoop of the powder and then one scoop of water, and I just mixed it up because I only need a little bit for this project. But it has a really sandy, grainy texture, and the point is, when you put it on, when you go to sand it, that grainy part is going to lift off of your base, and it's going to distress really well. And that's the lovely part of milk paint that I love. It gives things more of that chippy look. So this is just a couple of coats, and you can see how well that did. I just went over it with my sanding block, and then just to get some more worn look to it, I took a baby wipe, and I'm going to go over it with a baby wipe just to get a little bit more off of the edges. And then I'm going to show you a couple of ways that we can really create something really unique with this little scrap piece of wood that we just distressed. Now I'm going to show you an idea. You can also make a little tree out of vintage, again, hardware, whatever little hardware junk you may have around, or in keys. A lot of times if I see keys out at yard sales or thrift stores, I always pick those up. But, and also you may have some just laying in a drawer if you're like us, that accumulate over the years and you don't even know what they go to. And then I use an antique vintage watch face for the tree topper. So just get creative. If you've got some old keys, get them out and make your little Christmas tree. Now with some more little scrap wood, I'm going to make some more little Christmas projects. And I'm taking this one and I'm showing you another idea versus, making the little Christmas tree out of the keys. I'm going to take the little figgy pudding transfer book, and this had the Christmas greetings across the bottom, and then I took that little candle with that greenery and I transferred it over on the side. And I didn't show you me transferring it because I'll transfer some more here in a minute, but as far as video time, I didn't want to take up time showing you how to transfer all these because I don't want to bore y'all because I do a lot of transferring in my videos. But anyway, took those little holes that were in the scrap wood. I just put a little piece of wire in it and gave it a little handle and hung it on the Christmas tree. And this was so easy to make. And to me, I love little rustic Christmas ornaments that are so unique. Now this project, again, I'm going to show you on this one how we use the transfer. You just apply it down, hold it down in place with a little painter's tape, remove your white backing, go over it with your transfer tool, and then you just want to scrape it on to your piece of wood. Now, to me, they transfer really well onto wood. It really grabs that wood good. And then I just went over the sides with it. But I thought this holly with the whites and those berries, I thought this one was a beautiful piece. And I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with it. Now I'm taking some red Iron Orchid ink, Iron Orchid Design ink, and my stamp pad, and I'm just going to use one of my Christmas stamps that I just got, and I'm just going to stamp very lightly Christmas on this. And this is a great piece. You know, you can go over this too with a little sanding block just to make it look a little bit more distressed and aged. And I thought this turned out so pretty. Love the colors in this one. Last week's video, I showed y'all this beautiful Santa print, and I'm going to leave a link to that video at the end of this video and in my description. But I showed y'all what a beautiful print he is. He's 11 by 14, and I showed you in that video how to frame him, and I staged him. But he is absolutely gorgeous, and I told you I would have another one this week, and here it is. This one is huge. This one is a poster size. I'm going to have both of these linked in my Amazon store. Y'all, I've already ordered a couple more of these. I love them. They are very nice quality. They are thick, quality paper that they're printed on, and absolutely beautiful colors. Now, there's one similar at Hobby Lobby, and I think he is like $80-something. But I'm just going to show you a really quick way of how to display him. If you don't want to take him to the frame shop, or you don't have a frame that fits him, I'm just going to hot glue some little clothespins on the back of a vintage old window that I got at a yard sale, and I think I paid $2 for this window. But I just went in with a little bit of hot glue. I used some painter's tape, and I taped my poster on just so I'd know where it would be centered when I turn my window around, because basically he's going to be looking from the back to the outside. And so I just wanted to show you an economical way, if you've got an old window, of how you can just clip him on to the back of the window and he can kind of peek through. Now you can add some greenery across the top of your window. Right now my home is totally decorated for Christmas, so I don't have anywhere really wall space to hang him up. So anyway, I'm just kind of staging him just to kind of show you how he looks peeking through that window. And you know, and I may eventually frame one, but for now I just want to give y'all a really economical idea, if you do order this poster, because he's very budget friendly, of ways that you can display him in your home and it not cost a lot of money. Now, I purchased this for $3 at a yard sale. Now it's got some damage to it, but once we decorate it, you'll never be able to see that. So it's really plain, you know, a natural wood color. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to go over it with some watered down burnt umber craft paint. I'm going to go over it with one coat, let it dry, and then I'm going to chalk paint it white, and then I'm going to distress it. And I'm going to show you some different ways of how we can decorate this little basket and just, you know, add some little details to it for Christmas. Now, tobacco baskets are amazing pieces to decorate with, so anytime you see these affordable or at the thrift stores or yard sales, you know, always pick them up, because you can do so many things with them. Now our next project is going to be a cute little sleigh. Now I purchased this again at a yard sale, and I think I paid 75 cents, maybe $1 for it. It's super cute. I mean, you can tell this is probably an old piece, just the way it, you know, the wood is kind of aged. But the hardware was very easy to take off, so that made it, you know, a lot easier to paint. So I'm going to take the hardware off with just a little bitty screwdriver. I just went in, there was 4 screws, and like I say, it was very easy to take the little bottom off. I took it outside, I spray painted it black, and then I'm going to chalk paint the top white, and then I'm going to go over it and I'm going to distress the edges, and then I'm going to show y'all a new IOD Christmas stamp pad that I have gotten. I want to give a big thank you to Iron Orchid Design for sending me some, a lot of products to use for my projects, especially these Christmas items. A lot of these are very hard to find right now, so I'm going to leave a link below to some, local dealers, maybe in your area, where you can purchase the Iron Orchid Design products. But I just took my stamp pad, and since everything is new, you saw me go over and prep my stamps with a little sanding block, and now my ink pad is brand new, and my ink, I'm using black, and I'm just going to go over my little stamp that I cut out that I want to use to go on the side of my sleigh. I'm going to leave down in my description box the name of all the Iron Orchid Design products that I use in today's video. So if you want to go down to the description box and, see what they are, and if you want to order them, like I say, I'll have the link down below of some retailers of where you can purchase their products from. But look what a great addition that little stamp made to the sleigh. Now I'm just going to put my little bottom back on. It was real easy. Just took my screws and put them back in, and then I embellished it with a Sola wood flower and some little ribbons, and I added some little bottle brush trees.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to...
Now the next project is a Goodwill find. I went to Goodwill the other day because right now in the South, of course, the weather's cooler and we're not having any yard sales. But this was $2.99. I'm going to leave this just like it is. I'm going to remove the handle, and I'm just going to add a little bit of Christmas embellishment to it, and that's all I'm going to do. And I think this piece is going to make a great detail for Christmas, just setting out. You can put it on your open shelving, set it on your Christmas tree. Just, it can be added to so many spaces in your home. Now I'm going to show you another way we can make a little candy cane, and this is going to be very inexpensive. You just want to take some aluminum foil. You want to tear off a piece big enough to where you can shape and make a candy cane. You can make it as big or small as you want. I took some strips of some ripped drop cloth, and then you just want to put some hot glue on the tip, and you just want to start wrapping. Now I did mine in strips because I felt like that would make it easier. Once I got to the end of each strip, I secured it down with a little hot glue. Then I started with some more hot glue and started another strip. Just do that until you get your whole candy cane covered, and then once you get to the end, you will secure it again with a little hot glue, clip off any excess you have, embellish it any way you want to. I'm just gonna add a little bit of nautical rope. I just tied in the knot in the center. I frayed the edges, and that was all I did. Now there's so many things that you can do with these. You can make these out of any fabric or ribbon that you have. You could also have added another layer of like some red ribbon if you wanted to put some stripes on it. So like I say, I think these would be so much fun to make. Just make, several in different colors, and you could also, like I say, add some little stripes to them. The next project, I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way you can decorate your door. This can go on exterior door or interior. I'm putting this on my French door going into my bedroom. You just want to get a large piece of fabric. I'm using some burlap. This was all I had. This was the widest kind of fabric that I had, but you want it wide. A piece of tulle will also work. Then you just want to tie your ribbon in the middle, and you want to secure it down with a zip tie. Then you want to add a bow also with a zip tie, and that's all you got to do. Y'all, this does not interfere with opening and closing your door. This is still up on my door. This would be beautiful if you had French doors to do it on both of them. You could also do this on a chair if you're doing a table setting for Christmas. This would be gorgeous to do on the back of your chairs. So just an easy, really quick way you can decorate and add some detail to your doors. The next couple of projects, I'm going to show you how we can upcycle some trays. This is a tray I did a project on last year, so I'm going to recycle it and reuse it. I got 2 of these. They're kind of a sage green at a yard sale last year, and I think I paid 50 cents or $1 for them. I spray painted it black, and then I'm going to show you how pretty this Merry Christmas iron orchid design transfer will look on black. Y'all, this is in the figgy pudding transfer book, and I absolutely love it. It's got a lot of little Christmas designs in it, and this one is going to look gorgeous on this black. So I just applied the transfer to the tray. Now, if you're going to, use this as a serving tray, you may want to spray it with a clear sealer, and that's all you have to do.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne.
Now, another idea of how to dress up a tray, just, find trays inexpensive at thrift stores or yard sales. I picked this one up at Goodwill the other day, and it was $2.99. I'm going to spray paint it black, so when I go to distress it, I will get that black base and not metal. So you can see it's got a little bit of ornate detail to it. It's a good size. And here it is. I just went outside. I spray painted it with Rust-Oleum black matte. Then I'm going to spray paint it with some Rust-Oleum white gloss. And then I'm going to add another IOD transfer. Now I'm going to leave the name to this one down in the description box, but this one just screams French country. So if you love French country, this transfer book is for you. So I applied it to the tray, and look how pretty this turned out.
We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and you.
Okay, y'all, I was so lucky to find this hat box at a recent yard sale. Now, this was, I think, $1, and I'd been looking, at Hobby Lobby and all kinds of places for a hat box, and I couldn't find one, so I just kept looking, and there it was one day at a yard sale. And so I've got it, and I've taken it outside. I spray painted it with a couple of coats of paint, then I brought it in and went over it with another layer of chalk paint, and I'm going to use another one of my Iron Orchid design transfer books. I'm going to leave the name of this one down below. This one is absolutely gorgeous. It's got some beautiful flowers in it with some of the French writing. Now I'm going to apply one to the top lid, to the lid of this, and I'm just going to go over it, and I'm also going to go down the sides with this one, because what is so great about transfers is you can just lay them and just put them over like the sides and creases of your project, and they will transfer, on any surface. So I think this turned out really pretty with it overflowing on the sides and the edges. Now I'm going to take a transfer from another one of my transfer books, and I'm going to leave it down below also what the name of it is. And I transfer so much. I have bits and pieces of transfers, and I don't waste them. So this one was left over from a different project. I had cut it off and not used it, so I applied it to the front of the hat box, and then I just added a little stained flower sackcloth handle to it, and look how gorgeous this turned out.
My dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
On my trip to Goodwill the other day, I scored this gorgeous copper Mikasa mule. This is the smooth. And I got it home. It was 99 cents. I only found one, but I looked them up on Amazon. A set of four, y'all, was $94. These sell for about $20 piece if you get them in the hammered. So I feel like I scored on this for 99 cents. But copper is a great texture and color to decorate for the fall and on into the Christmas and the winter season. So I'll drink out of this, and I'll also show you some cute ways of how you can decorate with it. Another great piece that I scored at Goodwill the other day was this really pretty. It's a Pomeroy is the brand. And this is more of like, it's not really mercury glass, but it's kind of more of a crackled. But I looked it up, and the closest thing I could find to it was at Home Goods. But look how expensive that was. And I think I paid $1.99 for this. But to me, this screamed Christmas. I thought I'm going to carry it home, put a little candle ring around it, add a little LED candle, and this is going to be beautiful setting out for Christmas. The next project, I'm going to show you how we can make an inexpensive decor piece for Christmas. We're going to take a very large embroidery hoop. I got it at a barn sale. I think I paid $2 for it. We've only got one ring to it. We're going to trace the outside of it to a Dollar Tree foam board. We're going to cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and then that way that will be our back. We're also going to cut a piece of drop cloth the same size. Then we're going to take it outside, and the way you want to apply spray adhesive is you want to work from the middle out to your edges. So spray one side, work it out from the middle to the edge to the side, smooth it out really good, and do the other side. And then you'll have a very smooth base for your project. And then we're just going to take some hot glue. We're going to go around the whole rim of the embroidery hoop, and we're going to glue it down really good to the drop cloth and the foam board. Go around the edges with an X-Acto knife and smooth it out. Now I'm going to take the little figgy pudding book again, and I'm going to show you what great designs are in this book. There are so many that you can use for Christmas, and I love that Santa Claus. I love old-timey Victorian vintage Santas. It's got a lot of holly and little berries in it, and on the last sheet it's got a beautiful red bow. So this is a really good book to get. Now I'm going to do my favorite stencil. Now I'm going to have this link down below, but this was an Etsy purchase. I'm going to stencil the wording at the top, and then I'm just going to add my little vintage Santa graphic down at the bottom. You just want to apply him. The way I do my transfers is I apply them down with the backing on it with some painter's tape, and then I remove the white backing, and then just go over it with your little transfer tool, and then just lift the little clear paper off, and you've got a great design now. Transferring on fabric to me is one of the easiest bases to work with, because the transfers stick really well to fabric and they're really easy to apply. Now I'm going to add some greenery to it and a bow, and I think this turned out really pretty.
Well, I'm all for Christmas. All the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm.
Now this project right here was free. If you ever are doing projects with pallets, and I showed this in a previous video, we made some candle holders out of these. We drilled some like just some little slots in the top, little round slots with a drill bit, and we put some candles down in them. Well, we still had some leftovers. When you tear apart your pallets, these are the corners, and they have writing on them. So I just took those 4 pieces that were sitting out and being shed. He had these as scraps, and I just got my little sand paper. I went around them and kind of sanded down the edges to kind of smooth them out. And look what great bases these make for your bottle brush trees and also for your cute little Santa mugs.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes. And I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders.
You know, I love thrifted yard sale, very inexpensive frames, and you can find these all over the place. But anytime I see them, I pick them up. And my friend Steven, he actually found some for me at a yard sale. So he actually got me this one, and I love the ornate detail to it. Now this Santa, I'm going to have it linked in my Amazon store along with another one I'm going to show you at the end of the video. These are absolutely beautiful prints. You order the print, and then all you have to do is frame it, and this is an 11 by 14. This is absolutely gorgeous, and they're very inexpensive. So I'm going to take my thrifted frame. I'm going to take a Dollar Tree foam board. I cut it down to 11 by 14 to fit in my frame. I'm just going to take a glue stick. I'm going to rub it all over the foam board, and then I'm going to just adhere my little Santa print to the back of the foam board and stick it back in my frame. Now, depending on what kind of frame you're using, if you have a frame that has a back on it and has glass, you will not have to do this step. You can just insert your Santa inside your frame and put your back on it. And, you know, and like I've always told you all in my videos, it just depends on what kind of frames you find. Sometimes I find them with glass and sometimes I don't. But if not, this is just a really easy fix. And now look how pretty he is. Now I'm just going to put him back in the frame, and then I'm going to show you how beautiful he is in this frame.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
The first project, I'm going to show you how we can transform some little angel ornaments. I know y'all have seen these. These have been around for a long time. I picked up 3 of these at a yard sale one day. I didn't pay hardly anything for them. And I just basically I spray painted them white, and then I went over them with a little bit of white chalk paint. And I'm showing you here you can distress them. One I distressed and one I just left, you know, plain white. But I want to show you how easy it is to add transfers to just about anything. These are small, but you know, you can just add a little bit of detail to them. So this is out of the traditional pots transfer pad, and I just took some of the little quotes that was in there, and then I'm just going to scrape them on. And whether you have a smooth surface or a rough surface, this is what I love about transfers. They will go down on just about anything. You just put it down and, you know, just use your little scraper and get it, you know, adhered to your base. Okay, in the next project, I'm going to show y'all how to make a really easy wreath, because y'all know I'm not a wreath maker. But you just want to take a grapevine wreath, and usually you can find these pretty inexpensive. Sometimes you can look up on them at thrift stores. Just take whatever greenery that you want to, display in your home around the Christmas season. And I love like cedars and greenery like this. I guess it's more like an evergreen. And I just kind of made a swag out of it. I tied it together in the middle with two of them with some twine. And then I'm just going to tie it on to my grapevine wreath. Now I'm going to show you how we can make like an easy little banner to go across it. And you can use this little banner on your wreaths to add just a little detail, or you can even put these around your chairs. So many things we could probably do with these. But I just stenciled on the word Christmas, and I featured this stencil in my last video, and I will have it linked below, but it's an Etsy purchase. But I just used part of the stencil, and you'll see me in another project in this video later on, and I will show you the whole stencil. But you just basically just want to fold over your edges. I'm going to glue them down just to make a smooth, just make it smooth on the ends and on the back. And then you've got like this nice little banner. Now I'm going to add some ties to it, and I'm just going to use some stained flower sack cloth that I have. You can use, any kind of fabric you want, or you could even make your drop cloth piece with your Christmas on it. You can even make it longer, and then it's just one piece, and you can tie it in the back. Because basically what you want is you kind of want a banner, and like I say, you can tie these onto things. So now I'm just going to center up my Christmas in the center of the wreath, and then I'm just going to tie it on the back and just show you how easy that was. And that just added just a little bit more detail to our wreath. Now I'm going to show you how I make bows, and I'm going to make a really pretty little rustic farmhouse bow for the wreath. This is some really pretty ribbon that I purchased at Big Lots, and I'm going to make two bows. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to make one that's a little bit smaller looped and one that'll be larger, and then I'm going to layer them. I usually do 3 loops, and this is wired ribbon, so it's going to hold its shape really well. And it is the same pattern on both sides, so you really don't have to twist this ribbon. You just want to gather it and cinch it in the center, and then you just kind of want to tie it off on the back with like a pipe cleaner, or, just a little, a little bread tie thing, whatever you have on hand. And then you just kind of want to fluff it out and shape it, good. And you want to cut that tail off, because I'm going to show you how to do my tails at the end. So now I'm going to make one that's a little bit bigger, and you saw I measured just to make sure my buffalo print is a little bit bigger than the little bow that's going to go in the front. And I'll do the same thing. I'll just take that little twisty tie, and I'll cinch it in the center, and then I'm just going to, twist it really tight on the back, and then again cut that little tail off. And then you just kind of want to, fluff out your loops. Now you can make your bows bigger. You can do 6 loops if you want, but I'm just going to go with 3. Now this is how I do my tails. I just cut a couple strips off of each of the ribbons, and then I'm just going to attach them on the back of the two bows, and then that way you've got your tails. And just to cover up the center, you can just fold over a piece of the ribbon and then just hot glue it down, and then that way it covers up your pipe cleaner, whatever you've got holding it in the center. Now I'm going to glue it on to my wreath. I'm going to use a little bit of glue and just kind of, put it in the center. Now you can add to this wreath. You could put pine cones on it. You could add more greenery to it. You could put some holly berries. But I just put this really pretty little Santa ornament that I picked up at Walmart. He was like $1.98. So I just kind of added him just to give him a little bit more of that rustic look. And I love old vintage Santas too. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make the banner again, but I'm going to show you a longer version because I'm going to put this on something else. I just took 2 pieces of drop cloth, I cut them down to the width that I wanted, and I'm making this one really long. And I actually glued 2 pieces of drop cloth together in the center. but I could have just used one piece and cut it really long, but I thought it gave it more of a rustic look. This is the little stencil I was telling you about. I'm just using that part that says Christmas, and I washed this drop cloth in the wash machine and dried it and gave it that frayed look. So that way, it'll give you that little frayed edge look, and then you can just trim it up when you get it out, and now you can tie this on anything you want. Like I say, you can put this on wreaths, you can put this on chairs, around your baskets. Just, the sky's the limit on this. But it's just an easy piece to make that adds so much Christmas detail to your decor, and it's so inexpensive, and it's so easy to make. Okay, the next project is going to be really a trash to treasure, but I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all see furniture on the side of the road and you don't necessarily love the furniture, check out its feet. This is not my picture. That picture was one that I just downloaded to give you an idea of things that you may see on the side of the road you may not be interested in, but they've got great feet. One morning, me and Ben were going for our morning walk, and one of our neighbors had thrown out a chair and an ottoman. It had been sitting out in the rain, and the trash was coming that day. So I said, hey, let's get the feet off of that ottoman. So you can see it just had screws in it. So basically, we just twisted it and screwed it off of the ottoman, and I got 4. The chair had 4, but the chair was a little bit harder for us to get to, so we didn't get it off the chair. But just an idea before you pitch out old furniture or put it in the trash, or you see some in the trash, look at the feet on it and see if you can get those off. Because now the 2 smaller ones, I got 4 of those at a yard sale, and I paid $2 each. But the larger ones, like I say, they're trash. They're free. So I just chalk painted them. I distressed them with some sandpaper, and I'm going to show y'all. My friend Jackie sent me a whole box of goodies, and she always tells me, I've got you some stuff, some new stuff coming in the mail. I hope you love it. Jackie takes care of me. She is so sweet. I'm going to link her shop down below, and she offers y'all 10% off of your purchases. So she has sent me some more transfer books. So I am loving all my transfers. So I want to use them, and I'm having so much fun with them. So I added some to these little wooden feet, and I'm going to link the transfer pads that I'm using in this video down below in my description box. So if you want to order some, you'll know the ones that I've been using. Okay, now I want to show y'all some more fun I'm having with the transfers. Now, this was a Cedar Chest that was my dad's. I've had it for many years, and a couple of years ago, I decided to paint it. I did not have my YouTube channel at the time, but I chalk painted it and I distressed it. I've always felt like it needed something for the front. Well, now that we have transfers in our life, it is the perfect thing, and I've gotten one, and I'm going to put it down in the description box. It comes on a sheet, but it had this really large ad on it, and I loved it, and I thought there is somewhere special this is going to go one day, and sure enough, I just thought the other day, I thought, you know what, it will look great on my dad's Cedar Chest. So I applied it. Now y'all, this one takes a little bit of elbow grease, but just be patient with it. You apply it down, you just, put it on like you do a normal transfer, and you just keep going over it with your little scraper tool until you've got it all applied, to your base. And I think this was the perfect touch to just really bring out this little Cedar Chest and give it a little more of a little shabby chic look. And I think it looks really pretty, styled with a little coffee filter trees. The next project is another kind of trash to treasure. Way back a few months ago, I had an ice cream bucket, and I painted it. And this is the bucket that was in the ice cream wooden bucket. And I've saved it, and I set it outside so it could get some natural rusted patina on it. Now, I'm taking one of these traditional pots. There's a whole sheet that is white. So if you've got a chalkboard or a black background, these white transfers are going to look amazing. So I want to try one of these out. So I thought it would be perfect to put on our little ice cream bucket. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going over it with my little scraper tool. I'm going to apply it down to the little bucket. And this is going to make a great little decor piece. You know, you can put your Christmas trees in this. Or, you know, like I say, I just kind of want to introduce y'all and show y'all these little white decals.
Let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and...
Now the next project I'm going to show you is going to be another little bucket, but I'm going to use some decoupage paper, and this is my first time to use this, and Jackie sent me this in my package of goodies, and this is just a sheet of Christmas kind of you know, decals, and there's tons of little vintage Santas on this, and I love it. I'm taking my DIY liquid patina. I'm going to apply it to the base of my bucket, and then I'm just going over the area that my decoupage paper is going to go over. So I've just kind of put it on there. I got it in the area that I needed it, and then I'm just going to go over the top of it with my sponge brush with more of the liquid patina, and then just kind of work it down, any kind of air bubbles. And this is going to give you a crinkle effect. So it's going to kind of look like it's kind of aged, which I love. It kind of gives it more of that vintage vibe. And I'm going to go over the top of it and seal it down with the DIY liquid patina. And then I'm just going to go around. I'm going to clean up the edges of the bucket with a little baby wipe, and that's all there is to it. And this was so easy to do, and I think this turned out so pretty. So if you're interested in this Christmas decoupage paper for your projects, I'm going to have it linked down below also.
We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, 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 come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come.
Now I'm going to show y'all how to update this little suitcase. I had a sweet viewer that sent me a box of things that she said I would have fun making over, and so I'm just now getting around to different projects. But I love little suitcases, especially around Christmas time, because you seem like you always have little things you need to store just to keep on hand around the Christmas season, like little gift tags and bows, or just Christmas cards, your stationery, you know, all kinds of little things. So I spray painted the little case, and now I've got this great, this is called Brocante. This is one of the new Iron Orchid transfer pads, and I absolutely love this one. There is so many great graphics in this, but I'm going to take about 3. I'm going to do 3 graphics out of this, and the one that I'm going to put on the front of the suitcase is going to be this little aged rustic clock face. I'm going to put that on the front. It's going to be a little tricky because I got that latch, but like I told y'all, transfers will adhere to just about anything. So I'm going to cut this part off. I'm kind of working with it to see how I want to lay it out on the top and what's going to work and what's not. And I'm kind of thinking about this handle. So, but in the end, I'm just going to go with that bottom section, and I'm not going to do that wording that's kind of curved. I'm just going to leave that off, and I'm going to go with this wording at the bottom. I'm going to put it on, and then I'm going to use another decal out of my transfer book, and I'm going to put it at the top. So, and that's the thing about these transfer pads. You can take from any of the pads you know, pair them together. You can put, you know, just if you feel like your piece needs something else, just look through your books and you can always find something else to pair them with. So I think this little emblem, I'm not sure what this is, but it come out of the same brocante pad, and I'm just going to cut it out and I'm going to put it at the top of my wording. And I think this little suitcase turned out so cute in the end. Like I say, I'm just using different graphics from my book because I love playing with transfers, and they're so easy. You just use your little scraper tool, adhere them down, and then, you know, you've got a great, I don't know, they just add so much detail to your decor pieces, and that is the clock face on the front. And I actually got it on that latch, believe it or not. So I'm just going to add some lace and some little jingle bells to this, and I'll style it for you, and let's give you some inspiration and ideas of how you can decorate with it.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one.
Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to transform one of these little wooden Dollar Tree cutouts. This one says Merry and Bright, and I'm just going to give it a little vintage look. I'm going to go over it with some watered down brown craft paint, then I'm going to chalk paint it white, and then I'm going to go around it with my plastic scraper, and I'm going to distress it around the edges. Once I get it distressed, then I'm going to take an iron orchid design. I got this stamp from Jackie at Ruth and Ruby, and remember, she's going to be linked below. She gives y'all a 10% discount, but I love this one. This one is Kindest Regards. So this is a very large stamp. So what we're going to do is you just want to go, and the first thing you want to do when you get a stamp is you want to kind of go over it very lightly with a piece of sandpaper, and this will just prep your stamp. And you only have to do this one time, and this is before your first use. So then I'm just kind of putting my little wood lay down just to see where I want to place it, because once the ink is on it, you know, I need to place it where I want it to go because I can't move it. So then you just want to ink down your pad, and I'm just using the iron orchid. My ink is gray, and then I just go over it and make sure that my whole stamp is covered in ink, and then I'm going to lay this down face down. Now you could do this reverse. You could have just laid your wood lay down and put your stamp on top of it. And then I just pressed it in really good. I let it dry, and I added a pearl handle to it. I just, you know, hot glued a little piece of pearl ribbon that I had, and look how pretty this is. Now you can hang this on your Christmas tree. You could, you know, put this, you know, on your little stocking hangers. So many things you can do with these little $1 pieces from Dollar Tree.
And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. Loving so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
Okay, the next project I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to transform this little embroidery hoop. I did a video a couple weeks ago, and I put a graphic in it. Now I'm going to show you with that little traditional pots transfer pack that I just got. I'm going to use it again because I love this package right here. It's got so many great graphics in it, and I'm excited to use it. So I'm just going to take one, the little angel. I think this one to me represents Christmas, so I'm just going to peel the white backing off. I'll place it on my little piece of drop cloth. Y'all, have tons of drop cloth right now left over from my daughter's wedding. I don't know if y'all saw that video, but we had a wedding for her in September, a rustic outdoor, so we had a lot of drop cloth that we used in it. So that's why I'm using what I have. So I just kind of went over it. I transferred it onto my drop cloth, and then we'll put it back in my little embroidery hoop and just show you what a cute little inexpensive and easy Christmas ornament this makes. And these little ornaments like this, they are so unique and different. And then once I got it in the embroidery hoop, I just went around it on the back and just, trimmed up the edges, and I added a little bow, and look how pretty this turned out.
As long as I spend this day with you, so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh, 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 ooh. And in a while.
You want to take one of those little Dollar Tree snow globes. We're going to take the top off of it. I'm going to use one of these little galvanized lids. These are from Amazon. I'm going to have these linked to my store. They fit perfect, and it gives this more of a little farmhouse rustic look. I added some really sentimental items in it. I put a picture of my dad. You can put any kind of little vintage mementos, family photos, just things that bring happy memories to you.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
Now we're going to make another tree, and we're going to make them out of the Sola wood flowers. And I do the same thing. I just cut a piece of the Dollar Tree poster board, and I cut it down to the size of my frame. And this one's going to be an 8 by 10. So if you've got frames on hand, or if you find them at thrift stores or yard sales, you've always got inexpensive frames, and you can do so many projects with them. I love having frames on hand for different kinds of projects. Now I'm covering this one with coffee stained flour sack cloth, but you can use any kind of fabric that you want or fits, the theme of your home and the colors. Now this is one hydrangea bloom. Now I stained it in coffee again. It comes in a really pretty creamy ivory color natural, but these are also sold on the Sola website. And like I say, I'm going to have my affiliate link linked in my description box. I'm also going to have it in the pinned comment at the top of my comment section. So make sure to click on my link and go out and shop their website. Now you just want to form a trunk any way you want to. I'm using a piece of lace for my Christmas tree trunk. You can also use, more of the flowers if you want to. But you just cut all the little stems off. They were very easy to clip off with my little clippers. And then I kind of arranged them just to kind of get a feel for how they were going to fit inside my frame. Once I got them arranged, I just go in and I just tack them down with some hot glue. And again, you can use any color flowers you want. You can stain them. You can also purchase them in all different colors on the Sola Wood website. So they have a huge selection of different kinds of flowers to choose from, and the stains and the dyes. And like I say, you can, get them already dyed to the color that you want if you want more of a Christmas theme. I highly recommend these, and like I say, I'll always have these on hand to use in my projects. And look what a beautiful Christmas tree this made.
If I spend it with you, just you and nobody else. It's so good to see you again, Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hanging by the fire chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.
The next project, I'm going to upcycle a piece I got at Goodwill for 99 cents. It's this little metal, I don't know, little bucket. It's got like a little handle on it with a piece of wood. I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to paint it with some milk paint. I don't know if you watched my video from last week, but I'm going to link it at the end of this video and also down in my description box. But I used milk paint for the first time, and I had a little bit of it left over. I kept it in a container, but it got kind of dried out. So I'm going to just revive it with a little bit of water and just kind of get it mixed back up and get it enough to where I can paint my little bucket with it. Now this little bucket's got some really pretty little pine cones embossed on the front of it, so this is going to distress really well. It's got them on both sides, but I just added a couple of layers of my milk paint, and as you can see, milk paint's got a grainy texture to it, and it's designed that way because milk paint gives you a really good distressed finish in the end. So I just took my sanding block, I'm going to go over it, I'm going to try to bring out some of those, little raised pine cones, and I just added some greenery, and look what a great little piece now this made for Christmas. Okay, in the next project, I'm going to show y'all how I recreate this little wooden horse. I purchased him at a yard sale for $1, and soon as I saw him, I could envision him being a great Christmas decoration. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take him outside. I'm going to spray paint him with chiffon cream chalk paint. Then I'm going to distress him with with a sanding block, and then I'm going to make a wreath. I show how to make this wreath in my last video, and it's going to be at the end of this video, so just click on it, and I'll also have a link in my description box. But I just made a really rustic little wreath for his neck out of drop cloth. I added a little greenery and pine cones, and I think he turned out so pretty for Christmas. Now I'm going to show y'all how we can make some very inexpensive Christmas wall art. And now if y'all go to the Hobby Lobby or any place, Christmas wall hangings and decor can get very expensive. So I'm going to show you how to make some, and we're just going to use some very inexpensive items. First of all, you want to take a frame. You can use any frame, any size you want, and you can buy these at yard sales or thrift stores or find them around your home, and it's free. Take a piece of poster board from Dollar Tree, and then you just want to cut it the size of, where the glass is. A lot of frames that I thrift in yard sale don't have glass in them anymore, but that's okay. They don't have to have glass, but if they do, that's just a plus for you. But just, take it with a little X-Acto knife and just, make it to fit your frame. Now I'm giving you some ideas here. These are gift bags. Gift bags are two-sided. So when you're working with a gift bag, you're going to have two images. So you could actually make two framed pieces of wall decor if you wanted to. Now these gift bags, majority of these I found at Walmart, and they were $3.98. A lot of times if you shop around, you may can find some really pretty graphic gift bags at Dollar Tree or Dollar General. You may can find them for $1. So then you've only got 50 cents in one side. But just giving you some ideas of different kind of frames that I had that I've thrifted or found at yard sales, being very inexpensive, that will be options that you can cut your poster board down, and just some gift bag ideas, because I've had so many people ask me about that Santa Claus picture that I feature in a lot of my videos, and he was a gift bag, and I have two of them. I framed both sides of him. Now, to cut your bag in half, it's very easy. I just use some scissors and I just cut one side off, and then, like I say, you've still got another half of the bag to work with and make another project with. Now, I prefer to use Gorilla Spray Adhesive. It's spray glue in a can. You can also, there's an Elmer's brand. I take it outside. I spray my poster board down. If it's a cold day, I'll bring it back in. You lay your graphic down on it, and then I just went over it with my transfer scraper and scraped out any bubbles and made it lay flat. Now you can take your scissors and trim off the excess off the edges, or you can use an X-Acto knife. You just want to go around the edges and you want to trim off any excess paper, and once you got it trimmed up, then you are ready to put it back in your frame. It's as easy as that. You know, and you still got one side of the poster board, so if you wanted to put another image, maybe for another season on it, you can flip these around and switch them out. So that's another idea, just to make your own very inexpensive wall art. So now I'm just going to stage all of the little gift bags that I framed and give you some ideas and inspiration on how you can make your own Christmas wall art very inexpensive. Okay, y'all, let's get started transforming these projects. The first one I'm going to work on is going to be a little piece of luggage that I acquired at a yard sale for a couple of dollars. I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to spray paint it with Rust-Oleum white spray paint. I know right now spray paint is scarce, so if you do need some and you can't find it, I will have some linked in my Amazon store. Now, once I got it painted, I'm going to add some transfers to it. Now, this is the transfer that I'm going to use. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but this one has so many designs and graphics on it. So you've got a lot to choose from, and you get a lot of transfers on this sheet. So I took one, I cut out the one I wanted. This is a very detailed one, but I love the graphics on this one, and I thought it would do really well on the top and going down the front of this little piece of luggage. So you just take your scraper, you lay it down, you just want to scrape over it, and since this has a lot of detail, just keep scraping and just be patient with it. And once you feel the paper, the clear paper lifting up off of your design, then you know it is stuck well to your project. If not, just put your paper back down and just keep scraping. Now, once you get it onto your project, just rub over it a little bit just to make sure that all the decal is adhered good to your project. Now, I'm going to take another piece of this sheet, and I love words and I still love quotes, and I'm going to put something on the front and I want to wrap it around to the side. So I'm just going to place it down. It's got a little bit of sticky on the back of it, so it'll hold well once you get it positioned. And again, I'm just going to go over it with my scraper, and I'm just going to apply it to the front and wrap it around the side. Now, if you're working on a project that you have painted, some paint will lift up. So sometimes, depending on the type paint, you may want to seal your project before you go and you put your transfer over it. You can spray it with Rust-Oleum Clear Matte or whatever kind of sealer that you have. And look how cute this turned out. So Just another project that I can decorate for the Christmas season. Now this is a shelf that I obtained from a yard sale a couple of years ago, and I paid $10 for it. It's solid wood, it's got great bones, and I love the design on it. And it's a corner shelf, and it's always been, when I purchased it, it was already a gray chalk paint, but to me it just kind of blended in, and I've always wanted to paint it white. Well, the other day I decided this is a project I'm going to work on. I'm going to do it because I think being white, I will enjoy it a lot more, and now I can decorate it for Christmas. And also my mom gave me an old trunk full of a lot of my baby clothes and my little baby shoes, and I've been dying to display those. So now I've got the perfect place. Just to give you more ideas of, when you pick up pieces, just take them and paint them. Just a little bit of fresh paint can just totally transform a piece. And I'm going for a white winter wonderland this Christmas, so I think this piece is going to be so much fun for me to display my items and my vintage things.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me.
Okay, the next project I'm going to work on is going to be this wall decor piece. I purchased this from my friend Lisa. She had a moving sale, and I purchased it from her for $5. The retail price on this, it was originally purchased at Kirkland's, and it was a $50 item. It looks good with the distressing it has, but to me, I don't like the mirrors, and I'm not a big fan of the brown. So I'm going to take some new not chalk paint, but some new paint that my friends Melissa and Dawn over at Junk and Disorderly Gal sent me. It's the Country Chic paint. First time I've ever used this. Now, if y'all are not following them on Instagram, I'm going to leave their handle down in my description box. Make sure to go over and follow them on Instagram, because they sell a lot of products I think y'all would enjoy to use on your projects. So I took it outside on this beautiful day. I took that chic paint. I love it. It had very good coverage. It's very smooth going on, and I was very pleased with it. So if you're looking for a good paint besides chalk paint, I highly recommend this one. I was very happy with it. So now I've got a great decor piece I can decorate for Christmas. It can be a backdrop in certain places when I'm staging. I can hang wreaths on it. You can put transfers on this where those mirrors were, because I just painted over the mirrors. But I really like it now that I've freshened it and I've lightened it up.
I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree, and I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me.
Now the inspiration for this project is I had a little Christmas tree that I purchased at Walmart a couple of years ago, and it's just on a stand. So every year I have to find something to stick it down in, like a basket or something. Well, this year I decided to transform these metal urns. I have 2 of these. These originally I purchased at Costco many years ago. They had faux plants in them. I've taken those out and I'd saved them. So I took them out, I painted them white, and now I'm going to use a Jamie Ray vintage stencil. These come, I think, you get 4 or 5 stencils in this pack. I purchased this from my friend Jackie over at Ruth and Ruby, and I'll have her store listed in my description box also. And that was as simple as that. Adding some paint and a stencil, now it made a great container for my little Christmas tree.
Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, 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 la, da, da, da. Making our
The next project was a yard sale find, and I don't know if you watched my yard sale haul, but I'll leave a link to that video in my description box also. But I picked this acrylic deer up for $3. As soon as I saw it, I knew I could make over him, and I knew he would be beautiful painted white and displayed for Christmas. So I spray painted him a solid white, and I put a little wreath around his neck. And to make this little wreath, it's just a pipe cleaner that I formed in a circle, and I just tied some scrap fabric on it. You just go around, you trim it up, and I just tied it on with some flour sackcloth. Very easy to make little rag wreaths. And I thought that adorned his neck, and now he looks great, setting out for Christmas.
this year, it's just gonna be you and me. Hanging by the fire chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close.
Now this project is one that's near and dear to my heart because I love mannequins. I collect them, and anytime I see them, thrifting or yard sales, I pick them up. And this one I purchased at a barn sale, and I paid $5 for it. This one is metal, so you can do a lot of things with metal projects because you can always add things with magnets on them. You know, she's got the little holes in her design, so you could tie things onto this. You could hang your jewelry on it, hats. There's so many ways you can display mannequins. So again, took it outside, spray painted her white, and then I'm going to give you some ideas of how we can embellish and decorate her for the Christmas season.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere.
This project right here was a no-brainer too. At a church yard sale I recently went to, there was this tiered tray. It's metal. It's got great bones. It was only $2. And tiered trays are so popular, and especially around Christmas time, because we're always wanting to, decorate them for the Christmas season and have, hot cocoa displays, or just, just a way to display, your Christmas items. You can put Christmas ornaments on these. You can put greenery. So many things that you can use for tiered trays.
Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I have decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is.
Another item that I always pick up at thrift stores or yard sales is metal trays. You can do so many things with these, and these are so much fun to make over. They're so easy because you can paint them with chalk paint or you can spray paint them. And I spray painted both of these, and I used a high gloss so they would kind of shine and have more of an enamel look to them. And this one has such pretty ornate features. And in those designs around the edges, you could also, after you get it painted, you could go around, seal it, and then put your glaze or some kind of colored wax in it. I just went with another Jamie Ray stencil on this one. There's so many things you could do, though. You could get your transfers out, put a transfer on it. So many ways that you can decorate these trays. You could also go out to the graphics fairy and download some free printables and, use some Mod Podge and apply graphic to it. Okay, y'all ready to get started? I know I am. I love making Christmas decor and working on little projects. First, I'm just going to take a piece of scrap wood. Y'all know I always have this laying around, and I love working with it, and it's free product. I love the patina on this wood. It's already aged. I got a great stencil pack from Amazon, and I'm going to have it linked in my Amazon store. It's got tons of tree stencils in it, and you can, fat ones, small ones, tall ones, skinny ones. So I know I'm going to get a lot of good use for this around Christmas, decorating and using these on my different projects. So, and they're very affordable too. So I'm going to take one of those stencils. I'm going to use my stencil brush, my Jamie Ray vintage stencil brush that I love. It's got a really good smooth texture to it. It's got a good pounce. And then since this tree just had a lot of area on it, I took my paintbrush and I'm going in with white linen chalk paint, and I'm just kind of going around, and like I say, it's got a large area to stencil, so I just took my paintbrush and I'm trying not to get up under the stencil. And I always tape my stencils down with painter's tape. And then I just took it off. I let it dry. Once it was dry, then I just took my sanding block. I went over it because I wanted it to have that really worn look and just make it look like it was made into the wood. And I just added a little fur ribbon bow on the top with some twine just to give it a little rustic look. In just a minute, I'm going to show y'all how we made these little cone wood, scrap wood Christmas trees.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause
Okay, the next project, we're going to make some rag ball ornaments. Now, I'm taking some stained flour sackcloth, but you can use any kind of fabric or ribbon that you want, but you want something that's pretty, flexible. I just cut it into 3-inch strips, and all we're going to do is you're just going to scrunch it up. You double it, scrunch it up in the middle, and then you just want to glue it on a little styrofoam ball. Now, these little balls, I think I got these at Dollar Tree last year, but these are very inexpensive. You can also pick these up at Walmart. But I'm just using some hot glue. You just go around the ball until you fully cover it. Now, you could also, if you wanted to, you could probably use straight pins to stick your ribbon down into this ball. So I just, I'm just hot gluing. And I always tell y'all too, when you're working with hot glue and your fingers are, being in the project, I always make sure to protect your fingers. I use a low temp hot glue gun, but still, sometimes your fingers will get burnt, so just be careful. Once you get it all covered, you just want to go around, fluff it out. You want to go around, just kind of give it a haircut. If you see some that were a little bit too long, just kind of shape it into a ball. Then I'm going to make a little hanger for it, and I'm just using another strip of that flour sackcloth that I have that I stained with coffee, and then I'm going to hot glue that in the center of it. and just add a bow to it. These make such cute little rustic, shabby chic little ornaments. Now after Christmas, if you wanted to, I'm going to make another one, so I'm going to have two. But you could take the little hangers off of them and add like a really long strip of some kind of ribbon or fabric and make like some hanging rag balls. And I'll try to put a picture up at the end of what I'm talking about. But now I'm going to make one, and I'm going to use drop cloth. And again, I'm just going to cut a bunch of strips, and they're going to make them 3 inches long. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go around with hot glue. I'm going to cover the little styrofoam ball. And then for the hanger on this one, I'm going to use the hem of my drop cloth. I always tell y'all, when you rip up your drop cloth, never throw that hem away, because I use it in a lot of my projects. And it's just as easy as that. I mean, you just go around it and just keep gluing. And again, you fluff it out. And here it is, that hem. I'm just going to glue it at the bottom to make a loop, and then just glue it in the center of the ball. And y'all, I think these turned out so cute. And what an inexpensive, really original, unique ornament you have now for your tree. Is a Pinterest inspired picture, but I just want to give you another idea. After Christmas, you could take one long piece of ribbon and hang them up like this. Okay, the next project is going to be Ben. He is going to help me. He's going to make some scrap wood Christmas trees. And I told him this week, I'm working on a really huge video for next week, y'all, that's going to come out on Tuesday. And if y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all probably seen us featuring and promoting it, but it's going to upload on Tuesday of November 2nd. So make sure to mark your calendars for that, because I'm working on a big video footage for a lot of Christmas content for it. So this week I asked Ben to help me, and I had some inspiration on Pinterest for a little scrap Christmas tree, and I asked him if he'd go out and make it, and he said sure. Well, this one he's kind of making on his own. He just took some scrap wood, pallet wood, and he just cut, some pieces, as you can see, with his saw. And he's just using some wood glue. This is very easy to make. He's just going to wood glue them together. He'll let that dry. And then I'm going to bring it in, and I'm just going to put some very light coat of white linen chalk paint over it, because I want to be able to see that wood grain through the paint. And then I'm just going to go over it with a sanding block and just kind of rough it up and just kind of smooth out that wood a little bit. And all I'm going to do to this now is going to add a bow. We could always go in and add a stem to it if we wanted to, and I may eventually do that with a spindle. Now I'm showing you here a little option for a tree topper. I love these little Dollar Tree ornaments I bought last year. You can just pull them apart, and then you really got two. But I love those pearl embellishments. But I'm just giving you an idea of how you could decorate the top of it.
Tomorrow
Okay, the next project is going to be more scrap pallet wood trees. Now, this was my inspiration I saw on Pinterest, and I asked Ben if he could go out and help me and make me some of these. They're very minimal, simple, but rustic, and they're very easy to decorate. And I'll show you when I go to stage and just a few ideas of, how you can just embellish them very simple. Now, he's cutting 3 lengths because we're going to have a real tall one. We'll have more of a medium size and one that's going to be a little bit shorter because they're going to stagger in length. Now, he's just measuring the center of his boards because he's going to get his level, and he's going to sketch out his angles, because basically what we're going to want to do is we're going to make triangles. So here he is, he's got his level, and he's just going to, measure, make his mark, and then he'll just cut. And what we'll end up with is going to be three trees. And the patina of this wood, I'm not going to paint it. I love the rustic look to it. It looks worn and aged. So very simple project. If you can use power tools, and you've got, some scrap wood, and the pallet wood works really great for these little trees. Very easy to make, and like I say, they're very simple, but I think they're going to be so cute, decorated, and set out for Christmas.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
Okay, y'all, the first Christmas project we're going to transform today is going to be some cone trees. Now, I purchased these at a yard sale a few years ago, and as you can see, I've got some that you'll see in a minute. They're gold glittery. These were silver glittery, and I've used these several years in my home, but now I want to update them and make them more neutral. And like I told y'all, I'm going for more of a winter wonderland theme this year. So I'm just going to wrap some yarn around them, and I got this yarn at Walmart, and I'm going to use 2 different kinds of yarns. I'm going to make some that are kind of a cream color and some that are more white. Now, you just want to glue the bottom band and get it started really good, and once you get it started, then you just wrap around and you just use hot glue as you need it. And go around the whole cone. Once you get to the tip, then you just want to secure it down with some hot glue and cut off your yarn, and it's as easy as that. You can embellish these little trees so many ways, and I'll show you in the staging. I'm going to put some fringe tassel and little pom-poms on it that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I just pinned them on so I can always change out my embellishments. Now, here's the gold ones. I have 2 of these, and I did 2 of the silver ones. Now, and I didn't tell you, I paid $1 each for these. I think the lady had 5, and I purchased all she had, and I paid $5 for them. So I'm going to do the same thing for the gold one. I'm just going to secure down the bottom to get my yarn going, and just to make sure my base is good and covered. And if you ever, start covering it, and when you get finished, you have some holes in it, and you can still see the base of your tree, all you have to do is just go in, fill in those spaces with some yarn, as you need to. But these actually, once you get to going around and get a rhythm for it, these go really fast. Now, this was more of a chunky type yarn. I loved it. It's super soft. It's got more of a little velvet feel to it. And again, once I got to the end, I just secured it off with some hot glue, and I cut my yarn. Now, these I left plain, but you could always embellish these with whatever you want to also. Now, the next one I'm going to show you, if you do not have little trees that you've purchased at a thrift store or a yard sale, here's a little dollar tree. This was one of those little tinsel trees. I've removed the tinsel. I've used this in a previous project, so I've already removed the tinsel. But if you see little cone tinsel trees at Dollar Tree, always pick those up because you can do so many things with them. Now, this one doesn't have as good a base to it. It's got a lot of open area on it, so it's a little bit harder to get the yarn going, but I just kind of hot glued on those little forms, and and I use that for my base. Now I went all the way around it and I didn't worry about having holes. What I did was when I got it all covered, I went back and I put a second layer on it. And it made it look real full and plush, and it filled in all those, areas that you could see the form. Now where I got to this bar right here in the middle, I went on and secured it down really good with some hot glue. And again, when I got to the end of this one, I did the same thing. Just secure it down with some hot glue, and you've got some, you've just updated now these Christmas cones. And these, if you price these at Hobby Lobby or even go out online and try to purchase some of these, they can run up into the money. So very inexpensively, we just transformed some that we picked up at a yard sale and Dollar Tree.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little prison shop, when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from...
Now the next project, I'm going to use a sign that I purchased recently at a yard sale, and I had this in a yard sale video, yard sale haul video, and I paid $2 for it. When I saw this wood, I love the character of it. I love the patina. I love the cracks in it, and I knew I could just, redo it. So I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to turn it into something I can use for Christmas. I chalk painted it. I went over it with my candle wax. I chalk painted it, and then I distressed it with my plastic scraper. Now I'm going to use another Iron Orchid design transfer sheet. I love this one. I've used it several times already. It's got a ton of wording on it to where you can do so many projects with this one sheet. But I love that market. It is a very big graphic design, so I knew I wanted to do something really, unique with it. So I thought it would look great on this really aged piece of wood, and it did. So again, you just want to place it down where you want it. I'm going to put it in the center, and this is what I try to teach you is when you decorate for Christmas, you don't necessarily have to do everything as a Christmas theme. You can take some projects, do them to where you can leave them out all year long, but add Christmas embellishments to them, and then you can change it out when Christmas is over, and you still got, decor for your home. And I think this turned out really great. So I embellished it with a little holly and some pine cones and a little rustic ribbon, and I think this turned out so cute. And I know I'll use this in my home so many places. Now I want to share with y'all some vintage candy canes I run across. This is not really a DIY because I'm not going to do anything with them, but I wanted to share them with y'all because I thought you'd enjoy seeing them, and just something to keep your eye out for if you're ever in the thrift store or yard sale. I got these at a church yard sale recently and paid 50 cents each for them. Love these. They're vintage, they're worn, there's no telling how old they are, but I just wanted to give you an idea. If you see things like this, pick them up. Bundle them up, and they make such great decor pieces to stage in your home around Christmas time.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun.
Something else I love to pick up when I see it in thrift stores or yard sales is little carousel or little rocking horses. I've done several videos on these, and anytime I see them, I pick them up. I love them. This is a little Christmas ornament, and he was actually broke, and we super glued him, so you're not even going to know he was damaged. I took some white linen chalk paint. I went over him with a couple of coats of paint. You know, I've brightened him up, and I just added a really pretty poofy, bushy little tail consisting of some scrap fabrics I had, some lace, and some pearls. And that was all I did. And look what a beautiful Christmas ornament this made. And y'all, I probably paid 50 cents to $1 for this. And I think I picked this up actually at a yard sale, and I think I bundled it, so it was very inexpensive. So just another idea of when you see things, maybe they're not the right color you need, remember you can always go home, you can always paint it whatever color you want it to be. Now, another horse that I found at a yard sale, and I paid $3 for this. Now, he is gorgeous, and he is a good size. He's on a black base, and he's not wood, but he is, I don't know, he's some kind of like brown type. I don't know what he's made out of, but anyway, he's got good texture and great bones. So I painted him white. I left the pole the original color because I like that patina, and I'm taking another piece of that big sheet of transfer. And like I say, y'all, if you want to invest in a transfer, this is the one. And I'm just going to add it to the base just to give it something, and I'm also going to put a little bit on my horse just to give him a little bit of decoration. And I think this just really, I don't know, just took him to a whole different level. And I'm going to do the same thing with him. I'm going to do a little distressing around the base, and I'm going to give him a little bit because he had a great color brown a base, so he just, I don't know, I had to go over it with a sanding block. Y'all know I love to distress, so I couldn't resist on him. And again, I'm just going to take some scrap ribbons and fabrics that I had, and I'm just going to make him a really poofy tail also. Now, my last video, I don't know if y'all have seen it yet, but I'll link it below. But I had a little acrylic clear horse that I transformed, and I made a little quick little fabric wreath to go around his neck. And I had a lot of people inquire about how I did it. You just take a pipe cleaner and you take some little scrap fabric. This fabric I'm using is stretchy, so it kind of pulls, and it's perfect for this project. Cover your pipe cleaner as much as you need it. You can go all the way around and make it into a circle, or if you want to make it easy to attach to your project, I just leave the ends open and I hot glue some flour sack cloth strips to each end, and then you can tie it and form it in a circle. These make great embellishments. Like if you have like a little, Christmas cottage thing, you can make little wreaths like this for your little villages, houses. You can just make your own, and they're so easy and quick to make. And to me, they just, I don't know, I think I like these better than if you added like just a little green wreath, because these just they're fluffy, and like I say, there's that a little bit more of a little shabby chic vibe to it. But here it is. I'm going to stage it with a little tree that I'm about to show y'all how to make here in just a minute. And just to give you another idea of a very inexpensive way you can make your own little wreaths to embellish some of your projects.
A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed as light. We got into a drifted bag, and then we got upside. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Now this project is going to be another yard sale find, and I paid $5 for this. This was also in my yard sale haul video. I love this. You can tell this is old. It was probably handmade. You can see the little nails in it, and I love this. But as soon as I saw it, I automatically thought this would make a great piece for Christmas. You can add greenery to it, little ornaments. You can put candy canes in it, Christmas cards. Now I'm going to use my candle wax method, and I'm going to use a new paint. I have been dying to use milk paint. And y'all comment below if you've ever used milk paint, because I've been intrigued with it, and I ordered this. I don't know, I've had it a while. I ordered it off Amazon, and I'll have it linked in my Amazon store. But you just mix it with equal parts of water. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want. And the instructions say that it will be opaque looking. But to me, I felt like I needed to make it a little bit thicker, but I just went over it with, a couple more coats. I think drying it with a hair dryer, I think you get a better effect. So if you want a piece and have more of a whitewash look, this is how you can achieve that, and I think it worked out really well. But the milk paint actually has like some little grainy texture, and that's the way it is designed. So when you go over it, with a sanding block or your plastic scraper, you're going to pick up those little textured pieces, and then that's going to leave your base showing. And so it was very easy to get that chippy, worn look with this milk paint. So actually, I love the milk paint. So if y'all want to try it, I recommend it. I've like I say, I've been dying to try it. I ordered it, and then like everything else, you kind of get intimidated with it for some reason. And the biggest thing to me about the intimidation of doing things is, the first thing is just take it out. And just go with it. A lot of times don't leave it in the box or the cabinet. Get it out. Let's try it. So then I go over it with my stencil that I just purchased off Amazon. You get a whole pack of different kind of trees, y'all, for less than $10. They're also going to be linked in my Amazon store. And I just went over it with some green and some brown. I sanded it to make it look like it was worn into the box. And y'all, now look, this was like an aged piece, just something that is very vintage looking. And like I say, we can add, there's so many things you can add to it. Like I told y'all, greenery, candies. We can put your, Christmas cards in it. The sky's the limit on it. So I think this piece turned out really cute.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around.
Now, while I had the milk paint out and I had some left over, I decided to make over one of these little furniture legs. Now, I purchased these at a yard sale a couple years ago, and I paid $2 each for them, and I purchased 4 of them. And I'm going to show y'all in an upcoming video how I obtained some for free, and tell y'all how easy it is to transform these into different little risers and pedestals, especially around Christmas time when we have our little brush trees out. These make great pieces to display your little brush trees. And all I did was put my milk paint on it. I went over it with my sanding block, distressed them really well, and just to give you another idea when you're decorating, these type pieces. And like I say, if you've got old furniture that you're throwing out or something, make sure to take those little feet off of them and save them, because they make great decor pieces that you can just transform them and use them on your projects.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than
Now, this is probably one of my favorite finds at a yard sale. I have looked for ice skates for, a few years now. And my friend finally scored them for me. She actually eyed them before I did. Didn't even know I was looking for them. And she said, look at these ice skates. They were $3. So I'm going to show y'all just an easy way of how we can decorate with them. Because like I say, there's nothing we're going to do to them. They're aged. They're gorgeous, just like they are. But I just took some strips of some fur ribbon. I hot glued some dyed coffee stained flour sack cloth to the ends just to make some bows, some ties on it, and you can just wrap that around really easy to your ice skates, and that way if you want to take it off, you can. Hey y'all, we are on the last project and it's going to be another tray. I just received this one at a yard sale for $2. I love the patina on it, but we're going to paint it. And again, I'm going to do it just like I did the little round tray. I'm going to spray it with Rust-Oleum high gloss paint. I'm going to give it that little shiny tone. And now I'm going to add another transfer to this off of my sheet that I've used in this video on previous projects. I'm just going to take, just a few words. I'm going to put it on there and it just adds just a little bit more of that shabby chic French country flair to it. And I'm going to show you some ways of how I decorate it and how you can embellish it for the Christmas season. Okay, y'all, we are at the end of the video. I hope y'all got some great ideas and inspiration for things that you may have found at thrift stores or yard sales, or just things that you may have around your home that need a refresh. Get those items out now, work on them, and get them out and decorate them for Christmas. It's a great way to use those items that we may just have sitting around. Okay, y'all, we are at the end of the video, and if you are still here, thank you so much. I know we had a lot of projects, but I hope you got some ideas for some things that you may want to make for your home. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I got a lot of content coming your way for Christmas and for the new year. Make sure to go over and follow me on Facebook at Our Greene Acres, and also make sure to go and join my home decor page so you can share your projects. If you saw some things in today's video that weren't featured, I'm going to leave another video that I did for my Christmas in July, and those projects will be in that video. I'll leave it at the end here and also my description box. Until I see y'all again, I hope you have a great week. I love y'all, and I'll see you soon.